So on today's video, it's been a little bit. I'm going to show you what I've been doing the past couple weeks. Been blocking this car, 69 Firebird, and just go over and do a quick video. The back's already done, the quarter panels, the roof. Today we're going to do the door and the fender, or try to get the door and fender done. I got the polyester high yield filler on there. We're going to block it down with 150, maybe a little 220, put some guide coat on there, and then we're going to go spray with a 2K primer, and then we'll do, after that, it won't be in this video, but we'll do some fine blocking and finish up ready for paint. So check it out. Blocking takes forever, so it won't. I'll speed it up and won't show you the whole car. It gets very tedious. Anyone that knows, this is what makes a good paint job, though, over and over again. So enjoy. So the front of this car is on a polyester high yield build primer. We're going to end up with the dry coat on right now. That's what this black stuff is, and we're going to straight line block it till it's all gone. If we have spots that we can't get the black out of it in a low spot, we'll put some glazing putty on it, and we're going to eventually, I know for a fact we had to spray this car a couple times with the slick sand polyester filler, just because it was low around the door gaps, and on the front fender you'll see a couple spots. Here I am, a 150 grit and a straight line block. Not pushing hard, just sanding back and forth, trying to make smooth movements. You can see a low spot right under that door gap right there, and there's one in the back corner of the door. You can see that just no matter how much sanding you do, it's not coming around. You start getting the bare metal around it. So I'll just keep working other parts of the door, and we'll go back, hit it with some glazing putty, and then again with a 150 grit, 80 grit if I build the glazing putty real high, and then we'll shoot the car again until eventually, when we block this car down, no bare metal shows up, and all the black guide coat is gone. Here I am just adding some glazing putty to the low spots that I saw on the car. Takes about 15-20 minutes to dry, and it sands real easy. It's just a real thin coat. I mean, that's all this car is doing. This is the rough body work, but we're finishing up. Here we got most of the car blocked down the first time. You see there's a lot of bare metal spots, a lot of highs and lows still. These would show up as waves in the paint if we just sprayed the car without doing this step. Ended up with my wife, we ended up taping around the doors, and we just kind of put the tarp over, push it into the tape, and we just cut out the area we want to paint. Had a little obstacle working around the dog, but it's how he gets sometimes. But here we are, just finishing taping it just one more time, making sure, you know, we got a good hard tape edge and we don't get the paint on anything else or the primer on anything else we want. So this could again be the slick sand high build primer. Once we're done, that's what we're prepping for, and it's a tedious back and forth motion, because after this we're going to go ahead and we're going to spray it again. And then we're going to sand it again and spray it again, and you keep doing this till eventually you start blocking the car and you get all the black guide coat out of it, but there really is no bare metal, and then you know you got a straight car. Here it is, the first coat of the high yield primer again. What I'm going to end up doing, I'm putting 3 coats on this time, trying to build it up real thick. I mean thick for primer. Most of it will be sanded off again. And what you're looking at basically is adding a sprayable filler to the whole entire car. Here's the second round of blocking on this, and you see this one part of fender was the worst out of everything else. The hood and everything came out pretty good. You can see a couple spots that are still a little high. Right there was a low spot, so I decided to just glaze the whole corner of that fender. We're going to work that, re-sand it down, and that should get that corner. And here we are with another coat of the sprayable slick sand. Well, you can see every time we've done it, there's been less bare metal, which means we're getting closer and closer. So we're just going to do it again, and we'll keep doing this process until we get this car where it's straight, and we know when we paint it, there's going to be no waves in it. Everything's going to just be smooth and steady. Again, 3 coats went on this time. This was the 3rd coat sanded down. I skipped the process of sanding, you got it. What I'm using, and this is what I've been doing through most of it, especially now before the 2K primer, we're just running over with 400 grit on a DA, just so we get rid of straight line block and we primer it. You don't see any lines in there or anything. This just kind of roughs it up. We're not doing anything. You see I'm going over real light, real fast. I got a pad on it too to make sure it doesn't push in or dig into the car. Again, we're just getting rid of straight line blocking and put a little more stuff for the 2K to grip onto. So here it is, the 2K primer. This is again, I thinned it out a little bit. I'm gonna block this down when it's all said and done with 350, 250 maybe starting out, and then we're gonna wet sand 400, and then hopefully we're gonna seal the car up and base coat, clear coat. That should be the last step. But you can already see, as this car is got a little bit of wet still in the primer, how slick it's looking. And here's the final walk around of the fenders, the spoiler, everything else that was done on the car, untaped, cleaned up now. It just needs one more final blocking, but this car right now is straight. It's ready to go. We spent a lot of time on it, and I really think all this will pay off when we put the base coat, clear coat on the car. We'll do a walk down the side just to show you. It's still hard to see because it is in a primer, but you can see the car lines up pretty good. Everywhere that's in that white primer is going to be the color of the car, so we'll just tape off the floors and everything else, and the chassis paint will stay black where it is right now. Shot down the car, the body lines all line up, doors close good. A lot of work was spent on this car, making sure it's just right. You know, I think that's the #1 thing you see in a car. When you look down the side, you see the doors and everything not line up, and I really think this one's not going to be one of those cars. Shouldn't have any high-low spots at this point. Should block out real good. Hope you learned something. It's a tedious process. Robert, if you're listening, I appreciate you working with me the last couple weeks. Helped me out a lot. So have a good one, and thanks for watching the video. If you stuck around, I hope you enjoyed the car. We'll put some more when it's all done. And if you have any questions, comments, let me know. Thanks again.